What's going on, everybody? Tim here, back with another video. And in today's video, I wanted to talk about a topic that the powers that be, the people who run the world, who set up the system we currently live in, would rather we didn't talk about. I almost started to call it a secret, but it's not a secret. We all know it. We just don't think about it. It's been actively hidden from us. That topic I want to talk about today is the fact that the system is dependent on us. The system is dependent on the worker/consumer to keep going. If we all stop working and consuming, the system collapses. Now, I know a lot of people are like, oh, that'd be horrible. But the reason we're even talking about this is because the system is not set up to benefit us, the worker/consumer. So we have a system that we empower, that we keep going, that is actively taking away our time, energy, and wealth from us. So we are powering a system that is taking our power away from us. The more power we give it, the less power we have. That's a problem. But here's the clever little situation that's developed. Since they know that the system is dependent on us, what they have cleverly done is made it seem like we're dependent on the system. Actually, in a healthy society, in a healthy system, it's symbiotic. That you help each other. But in our system, we're the backbone of it, but they've cleverly made it seem like we need them. They need us, but they've made it seem like we need them, right? And that's why I want to talk about in today's video how we use the system to break free from the system. But first, let's talk about how they make it seem like we need them. They do this by getting us as deeply indebted to the system as possible. Now, we all start out, most of us 18, we ain't got no money. Yeah, you got to go work in the system to get some money. But that wasn't enough, right? That's not enough. Because if you go in the system, equal, you might get up out of there soon. So why do you think they came up with the ever increasing cost of college? In the messaging of hey, if you don't go to college, you're going to be a failure in the system. So a lot of people, 18, 19, 20, early, you're young, you don't even know that much yet. They start out in the system before they even had a job before a lot of kids, before they even made $1, they are indebted to the system. Before they've ever made $1, they owe tens of thousands of dollars. Now you gotta be in the system. You need the system to pay that money back. Okay? You go to college, you get in debt, a lot of people. Gotta get a good job when you get out to pay the money back. Now you need a car to get to the job because public transportation, especially in America, is horrible. Maybe where you live is not so bad, but in America, not that good. Some cities, yes, but in most cases, no. So you got to get a car so you can get to work. Pay back the money you already owe. First job. So that's 2 bills. Then they come with the messaging of hey, the best asset you can ever buy is a house. Don't rent. Renting's bad. If you're going to be successful, you need to buy a house or a condo. So that's another big bill you get, right? You see this? You see how they're slowly, with the advertising and the messaging and different things they're doing, basically making you take steps to where you are dependent on the system. And then they got you. And it's beneficial for them when they've got you, because the more you work in the system, the more wealth you send up top to them. That's the game. They don't really care what you do with your life. But if you stay trapped in the system, they get enriched. They get empowered. Then the older you get, they start setting in with the messaging of oh, you're 27 and you're not married. What's wrong with you? You don't have kids. Something's wrong with you. You get married, you have kids, you have a family. You're even deeper in the system. Now, I'm not saying there's anything wrong with any of this stuff. There's nothing wrong with college. There's nothing wrong with a car. There's nothing wrong with working, having a family. Nothing wrong with any of that. The problem comes when they push these things on you and make you feel like you have to do them at a certain level within certain time periods. Instead of just letting people naturally figure out when they want to do all this stuff, is pushed on you, especially the college thing, at a very young age when you don't know no better. And it's pushed on you like there's something wrong with you if you don't do these things by these certain times. Fast forward, the average person by the time they're 30 is like so indebted to the system, they got them for the rest of their life. And then they start with the retirement talk. Of just like, oh, if you don't have $1 million saved by the time you retire, it's going to be horrible. You're going to be living in the sewers under Las Vegas. Oh, you know? So they started on that to get you like, oh, I better work harder at this job and really boost up my 401k, which, by the way, they took away pensions. So now you have to have, we have 401ks. Another example, more dependent on the system. I got to stay at this job, got to load up my 401k because I need to have millions of dollars when I go to retire. All these clever little ways, they make it so that we're so dependent on this system that is bankrupting all of us that we just have to stay working at it basically till we die. Or if we're really fortunate, at 67, we get to, hopefully we got enough money, we can do what we want. What I'm saying, and what this video is really about, is using the system to break free from the system. But first we had to identify the need to break free from the system. Because the average person just goes along with the system. The average person thinks the system works. The average person is like, oh, if I just work harder, if I just stay on this job longer, if I just do what they tell me to do more, then I'll get what I'm going for. Now, when you really ask the average person what they're going for, a lot of times we don't know. But, they dangle that carrot and we go after it. I can be a success too. What does success mean to you? They might ramble off all those things we listed that they've told us, will make us successful. But at the end of the day, all we're really doing, even if we achieve those things, a lot of times they don't make us happy. We look successful, but we don't feel successful because we don't care about that stuff a lot of times. But also too, even if we achieve those things, at what cost? At what price? I guarantee you can walk up to a lot of on paper successful people and they will tell you if they could do it over again, they might have switched it up because it wasn't worth it. Maybe some people it is, but I think for a lot of people, it's not worth it. I think we can look and identify and more people are doing this. More and more people are realizing bro, this thing is not set up for me for whatever reason. For most of it, just because we're not one of the elites. So it's this system is not set up for me. So I'm gonna break free from it. But what we really the only thing we really have is the system because it permeates so much of our world. So we have to learn to use the system to break free from the system. And I think I've got a really good analogy to illustrate how you do this. I love using slavery analogies. Anybody who follows the channel, I use a lot of slavery analogies because I think it hits home. People sit up and listen when you say slavery, huh? Okay, so imagine you are enslaved on a plantation and you decided you had enough. I'm getting up out of here. However, in order to run away, you need food, you need supplies, you need extra clothes, whatever, lots of things. Because you're going to be on the road running away for days, weeks, maybe even a month or so. Excuse me. So you need supplies. However, as a slave, all you ever get is what they give you. You know what I mean? You don't have nothing. You can't just go down to the Walmart and be like, hey, I need some stuff to run away. You can't do that. So all you have is what they give you. Whatever massa gives you, what you have to do in order to get the things you need to have your bug out escape bag is you got to take from the little bit of food they do give you. You got to take some of that, put it aside. The little bit of clothes they do give you, you got to take some of that, put aside. Any little thing that they give you that you can use, you got to sacrifice now. You got to put some of that aside so that you have what you need or as much as you can get of what you need for when that day comes when you escape. So it may take you a long time to get together enough of what you need to say, okay, I think I can make it up north with this, right? And I feel that's how it is today, okay? We only get so much down there to the job. We're in the system, we're working, we got these bills we got to pay. After, we only get so much down there to the job. And then after, especially these days where prices seem to be going up, whatever. After, we've put aside the money to survive. You know what I mean? We only got so much left. And sometimes that's not a lot. For some people, very little. But I think we have to use, even if it means sacrificing even more now, I think we got to start using the time, the energy, the money we have left over after we went to work in the system, done what we had to do in the system. We have to start using that in the best way possible, setting it aside, saving it, investing it, using it to do other things the best way we can. And it's different for everyone, but we got to start using the resources we get back from the system to eventually break free from the system. Because that's the only way we're going to do it. Unless you're like, oh, I'm gonna win the lottery one day and break free. But it's like, we have to start planning. First, we got to realize I need to break free from this. Second, we got to start planning. Okay, what do I think is going to be my path to freedom? And then we got to figure out, okay, what do I need? And then we got to start getting it from the one place pretty much most of us can get it from is the system. But things are different. Like, you get up and go to work a little different when you realize I'm not just doing this and I'm not going to be doing this forever. And this is not my entire existence. Just work, buy, get in debt, die. You know what I mean? Like, that's not going to be my existence. My existence now is like work, do what I got to do to survive, but also be putting things aside because I'm going to escape. Now you have a plan. Now it's about freedom. Now it's not as disheartening. It's not just like, all right, I'm doing this again. I'm be doing this the rest of my life. And the only occasional joy I have is when I blow money on something I don't really need and I'm happy for about 15 seconds. No. Now you've got a plan. Now you start thinking about the things you want to do. Instead of focusing all the time on the things you're doing that you don't want to be doing, it is a beautiful thing to spend most of your time focusing on what you want to do. When I get up out of here, oh, this is what I'm going to do. When I no longer have to work this 9 to 5, 50 hours a week, this is what I'm going to do. When I'm, insert your dream here, living this life, oh, this is what it's going to be about. And all the decisions you're making now and all the things you're doing now that you really don't want to do, it is like building the foundation for your future life. If we're at a place in life where maybe we don't get to wake up every day and do what we want to do. If perhaps we're doing 90% stuff we don't want to do, it gets a lot easier if we realize, oh, this is just what I have to do now to build the foundation for what I'm going to do in the future. This is not what my future is going to look like. This is what my present has to look like. Right now, I'm still trapped in the system. I'm still fully in the system, but I'm going to start making decisions to get out of the system. And the day is going to come when I'm free, when I'm out. And then I can do what I want to do. I think it is all about freedom. I think the more of our life we have control over, the happier we are. And I know some people are like, well, I don't really know what I want to do. I promise you, you get a little more freedom, you'll figure it out. Like when you have more free time on your hands to do what you want to do, you will figure it out. You'll be doing something. You will be doing something. Okay. And moving forward on this channel, I want to start talking a lot more about that. I just want us all to be spending as much of our life doing the things we want to do and not continually getting trapped deeper and deeper and deeper in a system that does not care about us. It doesn't care about us. It doesn't work for us. It's not supposed to work for us. So it's like, why are we willfully giving into it and just like, well, that's the way it is? No, it's not. At least it's not that way for me. I hope it's not going to be that way for you. We are going to use the system to break free from the system and live our life the way we want to live it. In the comment box below, I would love to hear your thoughts on this, your plans, your strategies. Do you think I'm crazy? Are you one of the people benefiting from the system? Are there some elites in here? Anyway, I'd love to hear your comments on this. Thank y'all for watching the video. Stay blessed. Talk to y'all later.